Hello and welcome to One Watch. This is a show where we talk about shit we've watched. Hi Sam.
That was part of an intro. That was 12% of an intro.
Yeah.
This is better than 11%.
Yeah.
Right, One Watch, that's a reference. Did you get the reference? No, this guy's a galaxy where he's like, I have part of a plan.
Yeah.
12%. That's barely even a concept. Right, One Watch, we went to the cinema, you and me, and other people, my old friend, two of my brothers. There was a situation where lots of birthday presents were owed to different people, and in a sorting way we managed to pay, everyone paid for tickets they needed to fulfill everyone's presents.
Yeah.
And we saw Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
Yeah, we did.
We did. Right, Guardians of the Galaxy 1, I fucking love it. I must have seen that like a dozen times. I saw it at the cinema before, it was amazing. And it's like my feel good. Every few months I just fancy like a solid laugh, and I put Guardians of the Galaxy on and I just laugh. Because it's just really fun and simple. And I don't have to get bogged down because it doesn't even try and remind you Captain America's alive, which is really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
Yeah.
Tom. We saw it. We saw it at the cinema. We went to the cinema. There was popcorn and there were drinks and there were adverts and trailers.
Yeah.
And seats.
Big screens.
Yeah, I got to sit next to my brother Nathan, kept the tradition of sitting next to him, poking him and stroking his leg throughout the film.
Yeah.
Only during boring bits though. Like bits where I'm bored, he might have been really into it.
Yeah.
He did try and break my finger at one point.
Nice. Yeah, I thought it was really good.
Yeah.
Not as good as the first one.
Yeah.
But really fucking good. They definitely learned like what the first one did and what was right about the first one and stuck to that. Sometimes too much. A lot of references. But I haven't watched it a million times, the first one. I've watched it a couple of times. So having that many references didn't bother me too much.
Fair.
For you it might have been like you're trying to watch a new film that keeps telling you about an old film. But I don't know.
Okay, so the director is James Gunn.
Yeah.
And I know like he did Scooby-Doo and he's done lots of different things here and there. And I really feel like Marvel went to James Gunn and went, just do it. Just do whatever you want. Because he gets that many like friends and his brothers in it. Like two of his brothers actually. One is a voice and one is the... he's a character who like did a double cross and then a triple cross. Because he realised he didn't actually need to do a double cross when he did it. You know who I mean? He doesn't. I don't want to spoil it, so we'll leave that there.
Is he a colour?
No.
No. Oh, yeah, I know who we are.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he gets like actors like Ving Rhames, or I've forgotten the name of the woman out of Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, like turn up for cameos and stuff. And it's clear like I don't think Marvel would do that for all the other franchises. Like I couldn't see Captain America them giving it to one person and saying, right, put the people you like in, do it your style. So I really, really like that.
Yeah.
And I thought with Guardians of the Galaxy 1 that came across really, really well. In Guardians of the Galaxy 2, I enjoyed it as a film. I laughed a lot. There were some bits where I laughed like hysterically out loud, and it's a good fun film. It's totally worth the money we paid. We saw it at the Odeon, which in Sheffield, like city centre, they've opened a new cinema, so the Odeon's like really reduced its ticket price, like $5.50 a film. God, I hope that works, because fucking $5.50 to go see a film. Like I was a teenager the last time and that was a lot of money.
I mean, popcorn and stuff outweighs it a little bit compared to the other price of that. But
Sarah bought that.
Yeah, you can hide your shit and it takes it in if you want.
Yeah. But, right. Guardians of the Galaxy 2 is basically an encore of Guardians of the Galaxy 1.
Yeah.
It's basically, like you said, it's like they've worked out, they remember the good bits. They reference the shit out of the good bits. Like, it has a really good intro of like Baby Groot dancing around. But that's completely taken from the intro of Guardians of the Galaxy 1.
Yeah.
All the big like character moments, they reference other bits that happen in Guardians of the Galaxy 1, and it uses the same sort of humour. And if you take that stuff away, the story, whereas in Guardians of the Galaxy 1, the story is like a non-stop romp. Like they just go for, it's like setting to setting to setting in Guardians of the Galaxy 1. It's like he's on a planet, he's in a city, he's in a jail, he's in a prison cell, he's on a collector's planet, they're in a fight, they're in a big battle, they're on a bad guy spaceship at the end. Yeah? Guardians of the Galaxy 2 is actually, there wasn't much of that. It was like, it starts and they're like having this adventure, and then it's like, they've stopped, and then they separate, and then it all converges into one planet.
Yeah.
And there wasn't anything else. I thought the more interesting bits were like there's a character called Yondu who whistles and makes an arrow go around, who's in the first one. They focused on him a lot.
Yeah.
And I was like, that really works. Nebula, I really like. Okay, I can't remember. Kate something or other. She played Amy Pond in Doctor Who. Plays Nebula. Gamora's sister, Robot Gal. You trying to remember her name?
Yeah, I can't think. Like, the only Kate I can think of in my head is Beckinsale.
It might not be Kate or Karen Gilligan. She was Amy Pond in Doctor Who, one of the assistants, and I did enjoy her Nebula. I thought you could tell this time that like they'd CGI'd more, so she didn't shave her head and stuff.
Yeah.
This time, but I thought the characters like they added freshness to it, and I quite like what they did with the character of Mantis. Even though they really changed the comics and they changed a lot of things.
Again, I've not seen the comics.
They really changed so much. Like, I've spent years understanding the bullshit origins of the universe and stuff as told by Marvel, and it's like, this is like Universe 16 and shit, and there were 15 others, and things survive, and there's a Phoenix and all this stuff, and it's like, they're kind of adding it but changing it. So now it's not just I spent all this time learning. It's like I spent all this time learning, and now I have to spend time relearning, and then I'm gonna get confused between the two. Like, there's a character, and they claim to be a Celestial. No, Celestials are big fucking robot things. They're big fucking robot things. That's what they are. So it's bullshit that this person claims to be a Celestial.
Yeah.
But if you don't take it seriously, it's like Guardians of the Galaxy 1, you don't take it seriously. You're not meant to take it seriously. And anytime it starts to take itself seriously, they do that thing where it's like they have casual chats or stuff. And in Guardians of the Galaxy 2, I feel they forgot that a little bit. Like,
I'm not sure they forgot that so much as they don't go serious. It's just a constant.
Okay. When you have people being blasted out in airlock into space, like, you can't make that funny, and you can't make that like. There were bits where I was like, "This is you're trying a bit hard to be." Or Peter Quill dealing with his mom and his father issues and stuff. It's like, I'm not. Some of this is quite. It's deep on a level that Guardians shouldn't be touching.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Was my feeling on it. So I saw the first one and I wanted to go back and back and back. I don't feel that with the second one, but I don't feel disappointed in the second one either. It's a weird thing. Like, it's nowhere near as good, but I don't think I expected it to be as good. So I had fun to enjoy it, and there were lots of great little cameos and jokes and stuff. And it's got Kurt Russell and Kurt, you know how I feel about Kurt Russell.
I think, like, with sort of the jokes thing, it's almost like it did the reverse. Like, they made a serious moment every now and again because the jokes were becoming too often. Yeah. Which again, I was fine with because I've not watched the first one as many times, so I think.
Yeah,
it's the continuation, as you say. It's like the encore. Like, I was just watching a great encore.
Yeah, when I came out of it, I was like, it wasn't as quotable as the first one. But then there were a couple of times, like last night, I turned to my girlfriend, she went, "Taser face!" And like if you watch it, you'll get that reference. That's really well done. Like, it's seamless, and like it manages to make you believe that this time a miniature tree, a cybernetically enhanced raccoon, a basically blue scarred Smurf looking psychopath, a green lady, and Chris Pratt are all heroes, and it does a really good job. Like, it you buy into it that way, and I love the visuals. Like, it's gorgeous. The same as the first one, and they do get, even if it's just a few lines, they get an actor, and you feel like that actor has energy and oomph behind them. You know what I mean? Yeah. And there was a bit, and I fucking loved it because it was so cartoony, and it's hard not to spoil, but I don't think this is much of a spoiler. So, a few of the characters have to travel, and they set a course, and then one of them starts screaming.
Yeah.
Like, okay, you know the limit is supposed to be like 30 jumps. We're about to do 700, and then they start screaming, and then it like CGI's their face to make their face like go all over the place, and I just was like, I love that it did that it went that cartoony and silly, you know, and like you've got like part of the premise is that there's this really pretentious race that are like chasing the Guardians for reasons, and you get like them, like, one of them fails, and they're all like, "Oh, you jerk! You knew you couldn't do it." And like, there's just the little people, they talk in more regular terms.
And the greatest bit about that is he's the fucking last one. They have all fucking failed. Such a loser, you couldn't do it. Oh, yeah, because I was the longest one to survive.
Well, no, my favourite bit about all that, and this suppose like one simple little, is he's the last one because they've gone through a expanding asteroid field.
Yeah.
They get out of the asteroid field, and then all these other ships come, and they went round the asteroid field? It's just like, so stupid. So stupid, but I did enjoy that. I don't think the soundtrack was as good.
No.
The first one, like, every tune I thought was really well implemented. I feel with the second one, like, they put lots of music in because the first one had lots of music.
I feel like the second one, like, I've been playing a lot of Fallout recently. It's almost like the Fallout thing of Fallout 3, all the music would fit perfectly.
Yeah.
And they wanted to keep that style of music, but with new tracks.
Yeah.
And because they did that, it's just like,
yeah,
it's not quite right.
And in the first one, the music's just kind of there, and it's playing on the Walkman, and then it plays. In the second one, right at the beginning, they reference, we're putting the music on to do this to. Part of the way through, one character says to another, "Can you hook this up?" Why? Because I want music when we do this. And then a conversation between one of the heroes and the big bad revolves around lyrics to one of the songs that's being played. And I felt like the music went from being ambience, went from being like a surrounding enhancement of scenes to being a focal point. And that it took me out a bit, you know what I mean? Like I said, it felt like an encore tour of like this. It's a band that released a great album, and they've released a few more that aren't as good, and now it's like their encore tour where they're just doing that album because that was their newfound glory, basically. Yeah. And I don't know why, I just didn't come out like when it came up, and okay, the first Guardians of the Galaxy film ends and it says the Guardians will return, and I was fucking hyped about that. I was like, I cannot wait to see more of them. And now I've seen more of them. Like, I'm not disappointed that they did more, but when it came up, the Guardians will return, I was sort of like, okay, yeah, fine.
And I think kind of one of the other things with it, with them not jumping about planets and stuff, it's almost like it was an encore of the first one, and it was setting up the third one, with the other race that's chasing after them. Like, it feels like it's setting up the next one, as opposed to...
Yeah, as far as I know, there isn't a third one. It will be there in Infinity War next. The big Thanos, like, the big conversion. I am actually intrigued to see, like, I'm not going to lie, like, Infinity War will be so filled with bullshit, it'll be, like, at best, it'll be difficult to penetrate. Yeah. But, like, you know, a classy finish that line. But I am really intrigued to see how they do Guardians meets Avengers. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, that's the scene I think I'd be looking forward to more than anything else. I would like to see Quill, like, just show how uncool Captain America is just by being Peter Quill. Although he'd probably be like, "Captain America, you're a hero from the war, I love you." Oh, and I'll be like, "Fucking Captain America, he's some shit. Things were different in World War II, and he was on drugs." But anyway, the other thing with Guardians that, like, okay, you know what I was talking about was the Encore tour. Yeah. Okay, so the big famous thing about Guardians of 1, spoiler if you haven't seen Guardians of the Galaxy 1, you're listening to a podcast for Guardians of the Galaxy 2. It was in the title, so if you haven't and you're just listening, then I'm going to spoil the end credit scene. You go through all the credits, and on all the other Marvels, you get, like, little teaser, little Marvel films, you get teasers for, like, oh, okay, so, I think it's the Captain America Civil War, teased to the new Thor film, right? And the Guardians was famous because it actually referenced Adam Warlock, but mostly it just had Ed the Duck. Ed the Duck is in twice in Guardians 2. He's in 2 separate fucking scenes. Like, he's in a place talking to people, and then he's in it again later. And it's like, you've twice referenced Ed the Duck in your film. I'm sorry, he's in early, he's in a bar, and then he's in towards the end. It's like, Ed the Duck twice now has been fucking referenced. That dog, the cosmonaut dog, that was, like, in the first one, just appears, and it's like, whereas the first one it's shocking, you're now creating, you're turning, like, these really good bits into just tropes. And Guardians, I felt like what I loved was it was unlimited. Like it felt like I said, they'd gone to James Gunn and just thrown it and just, look, we're not going to keep an eye on you. It doesn't really matter if this works or not, because all we need is Thanos, and all you have to do is have him seem a bit bad, which they did in the first one. So just do what you want. Like if you like the comics, great, because the comics are kind of crazy and out there. Just have fun with it.
Yeah.
Which I feel has rubbed off, because Thor, they had the trailer for the new Thor film, and I really feel like that's hitting, which is good, because Thor in space is a great idea. Like it's all, like Thor and Hulk when they're in space are way more fun than when they're limited to trying to protect Earth.
Yeah.
Because they're gods, basically.
Yeah.
But it's like you're really doing that. You're really turning it into tropes, and I don't want you to become a series where like you show me Ed the Duck and I laugh because it's Ed the Duck. Like you're better than that. You're cleverer than that. Guardians 1 is so fucking clever, and Guardians 2 had some clever moments, and then it had some moments that I didn't. But I really like the characters and the acting. I thought they progressed well. I just would have liked.
I feel like all the bits where it's the Guardians together were great, and a lot of the side bits weren't as good. But they were noticeably not as good with like the Duck and random bits thrown in there.
I think when you think of like the Guardians of 5 characters, Peter Quill, Gamora, Drax the Destroyer, Rocket Raccoon, and Groot.
Yeah.
And then you had Mantis, you had Yondu, and you had Nebula, who all had like featured roles in the ensemble in this. You've now got 8 characters, and it managed to have a coherent story where I knew what each character was doing and felt I learnt a bit more about them.
Yeah.
Obviously Mantis is the easiest of that because I've not seen her before, but I feel that's an achievement in itself. That shows like a level of writing and a level of execution that's very, very talented. But at the same time, it's like the story was very disparate. Like part of it felt we're just keeping this character here until we can bring him in for this line. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was actually right. If you watch the trailers, all over the trailers is Groot and Drax.
Yeah.
And the trailer kind of spoiled a couple of Drax lines, but they kind of worked anyway because they're funny. But Groot was really not in it like I thought he was going to be in it. He had a couple of gold moments. There's one involving Groot going and fetching things that just they kept going with it, and they went from the bit where it's funny to it's getting a bit repetitive to whoa, okay, I get why you kept that going. That's fucking hilarious, you know. But at the same time, like I just didn't. I felt tired. Like there was a tired kind of aspect to it where it wasn't. The story was really, really simple, and when you, like I said, you take all the bullshit out, it's like there wasn't really much to that film. It was mostly the encore tour, and I felt that you can sum it up by like you have the extra scenes. You know, you get like your mid credits, post credit scenes. Guardians has like 4 of them.
Yeah.
And 3 of them didn't matter. One of them was visually a bit funny. One of them set up, I think, Adam Warlock. One of them was nothing.
Yeah. Generally, the rule with like Marvel end credits is that when it goes to pure black and white credits, that's when it's actually over. The fancy credits at the beginning are where you watch it until the end.
Yeah.
They didn't have black and white credits.
No.
There was no black and white credits. The entire credits was the fancy credits with extra scenes thrown in, extra random bits in the credits.
Yeah, they did little things like
I can appreciate, but it was a bit much.
Yeah, but I think it felt a bit much because none of it really, for me at least, you might feel different. None of it fed into anything that made me think, oh, you're advertising the next film, or I'm more interested in the universe, or I've found something out here.
Yeah.
You know, none of them did that, and
it's more like little mini jokes.
Yeah, and I know like Guardians 1, you could argue the same, but Guardians 1, so the famous one is Baby Groot's dancing, and Drax is sharpening a knife.
Yeah.
And then Drax turns, Baby Groot freezes in place, which they then referenced in Guardians 2. They did almost the same thing. Yeah. And then he goes back to clean the knife, and I was like, that works because you see Baby Groot alive again, and you know there's going to be another Groot. And then the very end credit is, like I said, is Ed the Duck, but that worked because it was really subverting. At that point, Marvel was famous for having like Samuel Jackson turns up at the end of the film and he sets up the next, and it's huge and stuff. I think Samuel Jackson turning up and talking about the Avengers Initiative is actually a post-credit scene in one of the Iron Man films, I think. But in this one, it was like, oh, we're going to do the same thing. It's going to be a nothing thing. And we good. And it was Stan Lee, wasn't it? It was the Stan Lee cameo. You have your Stan Lee cameo, and then they went back to the Stan Lee cameo, and it's like, no, dude. Like,
I do feel like that was probably one of the weakest Stan Lee cameos in that film that I've seen.
Oh, compared, because he has such a nice one in the first Guardians.
Yeah.
Rocket's like scanning civilians, and he sees Stan Lee and says he's being an old pervert.
Yeah.
I thought that was great. What's your favourite Stan Lee cameo? Just out of interest.
It's not a Marvel one.
Okay.
Mallrats. It's my favourite Stan Lee cameo.
Where he plays Stan Lee.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Mine is, have you seen Ant-Man?
No, not seen it.
Oh, okay. Ant-Man does a thing, which you'll appreciate because it inspired my whole idea for a project you're currently editing, where this character played by the actor Michael Pena is telling a story like, I saw this girl and she had dope rhymes and she got in touch with my cousin who got in touch with this guy who said, yo, I got an idea, da-da-da. And you see the characters saying these lines, but they're his voice. And Stanley's a bartender that just got mad props, yo. He like mimes to that, and it just, I was like, that's great. Great use of Stanley there.
I've seen that.
Yeah, I've shown you. When I was like, this is how. That was my proof of concept. Was I sent you that video, and I think showed it. Mia Mills, the actress that we used and stuff as well. Guardians 2. It's good. It's good. It has the unfortunate problem of having to follow on from Guardians of the Galaxy 1, which is, from the first time I saw it, was in one, like, I don't have a solid written down top 10 list of films, and it probably fluxes what's on it, what's not, but it will be, it's one of those, you know, like I said, every couple of months, like, I'm in the mood for something funny, me and my girlfriend sit down, or someone comes who's not seen it, I show them it, they laugh, and it's a great it's one of my favourite films, just is, and guys you have to follow from that, and you know, the people I do film night with, they're a couple, Paul and Danielle, they're great. Danielle was like, I really liked it, and Paul was like, dampen your expectations, and then Dan was like, are you spoiling it? And he goes, no, I'm not. And it's like, stop telling him what to do and stuff. And then every time she went out the room, Paul would just go, yeah, no, seriously, dampen your expectations. And I feel like I understand what he was getting at, but I didn't dislike it, and I wasn't disappointed by it. But I don't need another, you know, it's better than Kick-Ass 2 was to Kick-Ass 1.
Yeah, way better than Kick-Ass 2 was to Kick-Ass 1.
But it's further apart. The distance between Guardians 1 and Guardians 2 is wider, just because of how good Guardians 1 was, than Kick-Ass 1 and Kick-Ass 2's gap, even though, like, because Kick-Ass 1 is a cool film, but I rewatched it and was like, I'm actually quite bored, but this is, Guardians 2, like, the Guardians 1, like I said, I watched it a lot. So the gap's wider, but it's better than Kick-Ass 2. Yeah. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, anything you want to add to that, or anything?
The only other thing I would say is Groot is very much a marketing play. I can completely understand why there are so many Groot like toys, like Baby Groot toys out way before that film was released. Like,
but okay, so yes, Baby Groot is a marketing ploy toy. Yeah, but he is used in an effective way where he doesn't feel like he doesn't feel like, you know, one of
all his moments are still great.
Yeah, there's sorry, you go.
Like, all his moments are still great, but you can, like, watching that film, you can fully understand why those toys exist.
Yes, yeah,
and
completely.
why that is like the biggest.
Fucking completely. But it's different to say, okay, so one of the criticisms people give, say, Star Wars: Return of the Jedi, is the Ewoks were a toy. Yeah. By that point, the franchise was a toy factory, and the prequels, especially the first one, Phantom Menace, thank you. They say like way too much of that is designed to sell toys to babies. Yeah, and it's not that. It doesn't feel like anything Baby Groot did was used just to create a Baby Groot toy, you know? Yeah. But at the same time, yeah, I do get, like, they definitely will market. But I always thought, like, Groot and Rocket were such a perfect... They're so fucking marketable. Yeah. But then they never stinge on Rocket being pretty reprehensible being, really, do they?
Which is, like, why Rocket sort of falls short as a marketing thing. Yeah. But if you compare, like, Groot to Baby Groot, like, such a marketing, like, sort of thing. But still fun, and that's all you really need.
So it finishes music there. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Cool. I have one more film. Paul and Danielle. Paul chose it, and it turns out he chose it because he didn't want to watch it on his own. It's called Sausage Party.
Yeah.
You have heard of it?
I've heard of it.
Yeah.
It's animated film.
Yeah.
Sausages trying not to get eaten.
Yeah.
Something like that.
I didn't know anything about it. It starts, it's in a supermarket, and it does the big musical number, but then they started swearing. And I was like, okay, what age is this? And then I honestly thought it was a Judd Apatow script. It's not, it's Jonah Hill and Seth Rogen who did it. And, like, it's a stoner comedy that I wasn't stoned when I watched. I can't say it was shit, but I didn't enjoy it. I was bored for a lot of it, because a lot of it is just, oh look, it's funny if this thing swears, and then you'll get like a massacre. Because the idea is like everything you sell in a supermarket is alive, and they think that being bought is them going to the promised land, and then actually they get murdered and killed and eaten and stuff. And then you get like jokes with douches and tampons, and they do a recurring joke like there's a character, they use a lot of racial stereotypes, and they have a character who's black, like he talks like a street jiving black guy, and he refers to crackers, but he's referring to crackers from the cracker aisle, the aisle that would sell crackers in the supermarket. But they don't just do that joke, they do it like 3 times, and then they talk about it, and they do everything like that to death, and it just wasn't that funny or that joyful. And the only reason I would suggest watch it is at the end, I'm going to spoil a little bit, there's a fucking orgy. There's a food orgy. And that's like the only bit where it's like that, oh wow, they really went far on that. But apart from that, it's so, I didn't enjoy it, Sausage Party. I thought I'd have more to say when I brought it up.
Yeah.
I'm glad this is after Guardians 2, but it's just not, there wasn't anything to it, you know what I mean?
If you're a stoner, watch Sausage Party.
Yeah, it's like it's like someone watched DreamWorks and then when like, oh, this would be fun. It's I can imagine them sat around stone just coming up with different little ideas and then putting them all in and not actually creating a story or anything. And it was disappointing. It was really disappointing actually. Not that I had any expectation when I went in, but like, you know, animated film, they're pretty good these days. Yeah, but it's really dull, dude.
Yeah.
Really dull.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Any questions about that or anything?
No. Yeah.
Oh, there we go. It's a dull review of a dull film.
Yeah. If you're stoned, watch it. If you're not...
Well, a dull opinion. It's not really a review.
Yeah.
We don't review. We're not reviewers. Yeah, anything else? Anything you've watched? Anything?
The only other thing is Better Call Saul. But that is not finished yet. Mm-hmm. And I imagine when it is, we will have an entire podcast devoted to it.
Probably. Did we talk about Better Call Saul already?
I don't think so.
Breaking Bad?
We did Breaking Bad.
I feel like very recently I've mentioned that Better Call Saul has hit the point where now every episode is gold. Because all the stories are converging. Have I mentioned this in a previous...
I think you have. I think it was about Breaking Bad. I think the last episode we did, or we called it anyway, I think you were talking about watching Breaking Bad through Gus and skipping the other bits.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, Better Call Saul, season 3, we'll talk about it when you finish it. Yeah. We're at the same point on it, and it's hit the point, season 3, where all the characters make sense, you understand what they're about, and you are really into where it goes. Yeah. Because they always take that fucking time with that. And every episode feels like there's a revelation and shit changes. Like, the pace goes from 0 to like 90, and then it'll probably go back to 0, you know. But there you go. Yeah, that'll do then. Whisper it. I started watching Cowboy Bebop, but I've not finished the first episode, so Cowboy Bebop is an anime Tom has regularly mentioned, referred to, tells me
everyone should watch it. I actually can't remember half of it, but it's got an amazing theme tune, and I know that I enjoyed it. Once I get a few more episodes in, I feel it's fair to talk about. Yeah. Unless I decide it's shit, and then I'll stop. But based on the first episode, I don't foresee that conclusion. Right, that's it. Thank you very, very much for listening. Get out. Bye. Bye.